The Senate will come to order. Senator Dibble.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would request that we impose a call of the Senate.
The Senate is now under call. Senator Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that further proceedings under the roll call be dispensed with and that the Sergeant-at-Arms be instructed to bring in the absent members.
On that motion, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Members, will you be so kind as to stand? As you are standing, usually we have prayer, but today I'll ask members to pause for a moment of silence, prayer, and reflection. As a word, I will say this: silence is a powerful tool for self-reflection, acting as a sanctuary for the soul, a source of profound strength, and the space where wisdom and creativity are nurtured. One other thing that I will say is that in quietness, we find clarity, solutions to complex problems, and the ability to hear our inner voice. So if you'll take a moment to do some self-reflection in the place of our prayer. Thank you for taking that moment. We will now do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much, members. The Secretary will take the roll.
Abler, Barr, Bolden, Carlson, Champion, Clark, Coleman, Swadzinski, Dames, Dibble, Dornick, Draheim, Drazkowski, Duckworth, Farnsworth, Fateh, Frentz, Green, Grunhagen, Gustafson, Hochschild, Herr, Heinzman, Hemmingson, Yeager, Hoffman, Holmstrom, Housley, Howe, Jasinski, Johnson, Johnson Stewart, Klein, Coran, Kroon, Kunish, Kupek, Lang, Latz, Liskey, Limmer, Lucero, Mann, Marty, Matthews, May Quaid, McEwen, Miller, Mohammed, Murphy, Nelson, Umuver Baton, Pappas, Pa, Port, Pratt, Putnam, Rarick, Rasmussen, Rest, Seeberger, Utke, Weber, Wiesenberg, Westland, Westrom, Wickland, Zhang.
Members, a quorum is present. The following members intend to vote from a remote location pursuant to Rule 40.7, Carlson and Klein. Members, if you'd like to follow along, I am reading from today's Senate agenda, which is dated Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. We will begin with the second order of business, which is executive and official communications. The following communications were received and referred as indicated. We'll now proceed to the fifth order of business, which is reports of committees. There's a report to read at the desk. The secretary will read the report.
Senator Rest from the Committee on Taxes, to which was re-referred Senate File Number 3596, a bill for an act relating to taxation, establishing a one-time emergency rental assistance aid for counties and tribal governments, reports the same back with a recommendation that the bill be amended as follows. And when so amended, the bill do pass and be re-referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Public Safety.
Senator Murphy for a motion to adopt the committee reports.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the committee reports printed in the agenda and read by the Secretary be adopted with the exception of the report pertaining to appointments.
On the adoption of the committee reports, all in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Senator Murphy to lay appointments on the table.
Mr. President, I move the committee report pertaining to appointments be laid on the table.
To that motion, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Members will now proceed to the sixth order of business, which is second reading of Senate bills. The Secretary will read the Senate file numbers.
Senate File Numbers 3602, 3606, and 3791.
The Senate files have been given their second reading. We'll now proceed to the eighth order of business, which is the introduction and first reading of Senate bills. The bills listed on today's introduction calendar are given their first reading and referred as indicated.
Mr. President.
Senator Rasmussen.
Mr. President, just asking if you had any corrections to what was printed or not today.
There are changes. I was getting ready to go through the changes. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Members, we will now look at page number 5. Page number 5, you will see Senate file number, just to make sure I'm right, Senate file number 4115. That bill has been referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Public Safety. The next change is on page number 6. If you look at page number 6, you will see Senate file number 4126. That bill is referred to the Committee on Environment, Climate, and Legacy. Members, if you go to page number 7, you'll see two changes. The first change is Senate file number 4137. That bill is referred to the Committee on State and Local Governments. And you will also see Senate file number 4139. That bill has been referred to the Committee on Commerce and Consumer Protection. Last but certainly not least, on page number 8, you'll see Senate file number 4142. That bill has been referred to the Committee on Energy, Utilities, Environment, and Climate.
Mr. President.
Senator Rasmussen.
Thank you, Mr. President. Pursuant to Senate Rule 411, I object to the reference of Senate File 4139.
Thank you so much. We will refer that to the Committee on Rules. And that's 4139. Senator Murphy, for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I
We didn't do those yet. We haven't done those.
I know, but we just moved to a recess.
Senator Murphy, before you go on, let me finish something in particular. We are on, just so everyone is clear, the 8th order of business, which is the introduction and first reading of Senate bills. We have talked about the changes, so the bills listed on today's introduction calendar are given their first reading and referred as indicated. And we will certainly, we referred that one already to the Rules Committee. Members, let's now proceed to the 9th order of business, which is motions and resolutions. We will adopt the author's motions as one motion. All in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Members, there are some individual motions that I'm going to go through at this time. I'm going to call on right now Senator Kunish.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate file number 3625 be withdrawn from the Committee on State and Local Government and re-referred to the Committee Judiciary and Public Safety. I've spoken with both authors and have their approval.
And this is your bill, is that right, Senator
Yes.
Kunish? All right, to that motion, all in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. We're now going to Senator Westland. Westland, that's correct.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate File 3894 be withdrawn from the Committee on Elections and re-referred to the Committee State and Local Government. It is my bill. I have spoken with both chairs. I am one of the chairs, and there's agreement.
To that motion, all in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Senator Ress.
Mr. President, I move that Senate File 3903 be withdrawn from the Committee on Judiciary and Public Safety and be returned to the author, and it is my bill.
All in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. We're going back to Senator Kunish.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Senate File 4056 be withdrawn from the Committee on Judiciary and Public Safety and re-referred to the Committee on Agriculture, Veterans, Broadband, and Rural Development. This is my bill. I've spoken with the chairs and asked for that to pass.
All those in favor of the motion, on that motion, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails. Now I'm going to Senator Murphy for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate do now recess to the call of the President. Members, we will come back just to do some paperwork at the end. So a skeletal crew, a small group of us can come back. Not everybody has to come back. So everybody knows.
Any discussion? Senator Rasmussen.
Thank you, Mr. President. Would Senator Murphy yield for a question?
Senator Murphy, will you yield? She will yield. Senator Rasmussen.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Murphy. Senator Murphy, would you mind telling the body which bills and business you expect coming back to the Senate floor later today?
Senator Murphy, to the question.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Senator Rasmussen. We will be coming back to manage committee reports, and in particular, Senate File 3596, offered by Senator Port.
Senator Rasmussen, any additional questions? Any other questions before we go back to Senator Murphy's motion? Seeing none, on Senator Murphy's motion for a recess, all in favor say aye. All those opposed say no. The motion prevails, and the Senate is now in recess until the call of the President.